Welcome. I'm saying peace already because this is the last episode for 2023. And in honor of it being the last episode, it is because I'm closing off the year and also celebrating the first year of the Fierce Entrepreneur podcast. So, although we didn't record as many episodes as I thought would happen this year, I'm really, really happy to close this chapter because there was a lot of trials and tribulations in my life throughout 2023 that honestly, I don't even know how I got to the end of 2023. Sometimes I look back and I'm sure you guys can relate and you're like, how did I get here? Right? Because so many things happen. We're all fighting all these battles. We're all trying to survive on a day to day basis, but we're here, right? We're pushed through. We made it work by any means necessary, right? Except I didn't go to jail. But what I wanted to talk about in this episode was a lot of lessons that were learned in 2023 and a lot of changes, a lot of growth, I want to say, because most of it was growth. If not, obviously there was some sadness this year. There was some things that happened that I couldn't change, but I'm kind of grateful that it happened because it made me a better person. And not many agree, I'm sure. They won't tell me, but I feel it. And I have come to terms with the fact that this is me. And I'm still growing and I'm still progressing and I'm still changing and I'm forever going to be evolving. We all are. We are all our biggest projects, our forever projects. So always keep that in mind when you're worried about changing, when you're worried about growing, when you're worried about what other people will think. Always remember that you're never going to be the same person you are today. Tomorrow, you are going to be different. The following day, you are going to be different. Something is always going to teach you something or someone. So I was going to write out what I was going to say. And because I know I be trying to play myself whenever I'm about to get on a stage, whenever I'm about to take that mic, I'm like, I'm going to write a speech and I'm going to write them. I'm still holding this pen, y'all. For what? I wrote 1, 2, 3. I wrote 5 words and I'm done. And the reason I say is because my friends always tell me, like, you always speak from your heart. And it just flows easier for me like that. It's a blessing and a curse because sometimes I overthink what I'm supposed to be saying. I overthink what I'm supposed to be working on. And it just comes so naturally. So with this, I always said my podcast would be an open book. So here I am putting this book down because I'm going to speak from the heart. 2023 was very dark. It didn't start like that. Not at all, actually. I had all these dreams and aspirations and visions for 2023 when it first started. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to get all this shit done. I'm going to make the money that I need. I'm going to spend all the time with my family. I'm going to, find love again. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better, all the whole nine. And every few weeks, something new would come up that would put a stop on this vision, that would put a hold on my plan, that would put a pause on my life. And I realized that I was pointing fingers at everything else, right? Pointing fingers at who did what, who said what, how am I going to change this? So and so feels this way. What do I do with so and so? And then I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? And how am I going to change this, right? How am I going to change the way I show up tomorrow? How am I going to change the way I feel tomorrow? How am I going to change the way I look? How am I going to change the way I feel about how I look? How am I going to change the way how other people feel? And if you've noticed, I keep saying how am I, because we are the only ones that control how we feel, how we see things, how we think, how we process our thoughts, how we execute our visions, how we execute our goals, right? So I had to look in. I had to look within this year and I had to go and face some of my own demons. I had to face some of my own darkest moments that I swore like throwing it under the rug was the best thing, right? I was under the impression all these years, because I had the mentality of, I am who I am. This is how I've been all my life. I'm not going to change. And I realized that for so many years, I was playing myself. I was playing myself because all I was doing was putting a band aid on every cut, putting a band aid on every emotion, putting another emotion on top of another emotion. Un clavo saca el otro, como dicen. And that's usually for relationships, but that means like, just put another nail on it. It'll take out the other nail or some shit like that. It's really weird to translate Spanish like quotes. But for my Latinas, you know what they say. So I would just literally live my life on some, this is how I've always been. Why do I need to change for anybody? Why do I need to do anything for anybody else? But I realized this year that I was literally just screwing myself so much by doing this. I had the vision of no new friends for so long. Like, no, I don't want to meet new people because I had my crew, I had my friends. This year, I realized that not everybody in my life is my friend, my forever friend. Actually, let me fix that, because I lost relationships this year. I lost some very powerful bonds that I thought were long term. I thought we were going to fix it. We were so close, we're going to fix it, right? But I realized God had bigger plans for me. So I had to process that grieving. Last year's grieving was a relationship grieving. I ended a 5-year relationship. So I was finding myself in that area of life. This year, I ended a friendship, and I ended relationship with other people that I thought were in my life for better reasons. I feel like everyone's in your life for a reason. I know the saying, reason, season, lifetime, whatever, but there's a reason why people come into your life. They're either going to stay here for long, they're here for passing. And that was one of the biggest things that I had to cope with, because for all the people out there that have had long-term friendships, and God forbid that friendship just expires, I want to say, it hurts. It hurts like a relationship, right? I don't ever wish negative on anyone. I always wish everyone well. I'm always trying to help everybody. I'm always trying to see the light in everyone, because I know how powerful we all are. So, aside from the friendship lesson this year, I learned the lesson of setting boundaries with the people in my life, because this was a year of realizing that I was being taken advantage of for so long. And it was my own fault, because I didn't realize that my niceness was being taken advantage of, right? So I'm so nice, meaning I will literally find out each and every way that you can prosper just by meeting you and having a conversation with you. And I learned this year that it's one of my blessings. It's one of my like purposes in life to create visions for people. I mean, bring their visions to life, help them visualize who they are and what they're supposed to be doing. It is my purpose. As Jen says, my dharma. Jen is a spiritual baddie who I also worked with this year. She helped me start my healing process for my spirituality. That was some dark shit. Still working on it. It's something that I realized that I needed to do, because I was lost. I realized I was helping people just because, honestly, I did it because it helped me help people, if that makes sense. So I felt like the more I can pour into people, the more I can help people figure out who they are, help me figure out who the fuck I am, right? But then I was getting played left and right, because people were taking advantage of this with the fact that I can figure shit out for people all the time, right? But then I got stuck because nobody was figuring it out for me. I was so focused on everybody else for so many months that I forgot to help myself out. I forgot to look within. I forgot to look in the mirror and do mirror work to tell me who the fuck I am. Remind myself who the fuck I am. Remind myself what I was put on this earth to do. What I was put on this earth to do. Have you guys ever thought about that? You guys ever thought about what you're put on this earth to do? Why are you here? It's not just a regular 9 to 5. It's not just to be a mom. It's not just to be a wife. It's not just to be a husband. It's not just to be, I don't know, whatever it is that you do for a living. There's so much more than what you know. But have you ever looked within? Have you ever looked at your purpose and why you do the things that you do on a daily basis? Do you go to the gym a lot? Do you find yourself helping people lose weight? Do you find yourself in the gym helping people train? Maybe your superpower is to become a trainer. Maybe do you find yourself doing things to help children? Do you find yourself doing things with beauty? Do you find yourself doing things, anything? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of shit out of the top of my head, but realistically, you might be doing something right now and hating the moment that you're in because it's not what you're supposed to be doing, and it's because no one's opening the eye for you. But honestly, the best thing to do is to look within. My biggest lesson in there was I never took the time to look within and see what the fuck I was missing. I was helping everybody else figure out what they were missing. I was looking for ideas, for fixer-uppers for todo el mundo. Everybody needs a band-aid. Let me hand out band-aids for everybody. And I'm bleeding my ass off, if that makes sense. I'm pouring all my blood out here. Fucking dying. Literally. I got into some deep, dark moments this year of depression, of anxiety, things that I've never really struggled with before. Bad depression, bad anxiety, bad insomnia. I know for those that follow me are going to be like, what? Like looking at my page because I don't speak about this. And you probably hear it in my voice. I'm already cracking my voice, but I'm okay with that now. I'm okay with the fact that I went through that. I'm okay with the fact that I can speak about that. That was actually a lesson for me to admit how I feel, to admit that it's okay not to be okay. There was times this year that things were so heavy that I stopped pouring into people, that I stopped coaching people. I stopped recording the podcast. I stopped going out. I stopped doing things that made me happy because other people were not happy in my life. Because I felt like if they're not happy, why should I be happy? Why should I continue to thrive and shine while someone else is suffering because of me or something about me? And I say this because it's literally what I felt. And for so long, I felt alone in that moment, in those moments. I felt alone. I felt like I got to get through this, right? Because I'm fucking superwoman and I'm not allowed to feel. I'm not allowed to feel sad. I have to keep going, right? I have to keep going because I'm a mom. I'm a mom. I'm not allowed to cry. I have to be the strong one. I am the strong one for everyone. Everyone that knows me, I've always been the one that figures it the fuck out. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to figure it the fuck out. But it's exhausting. I didn't know how to give myself grace. There's another lesson. Giving myself grace. Clapping for myself. Accepting that I'm not fucking perfect. Accepting that I'll never be a fucking America's Next Top Model. I'm not going to be a toothpick thin, which I don't want to be, but like the whole 6-pack and all that shit. I don't know. Maybe I'll get there, but my goal was to have a 6-pack by the end of this year. Do I have it? No, I got a 2-pack, but we'll be fine. Another goal was to do pull-ups, and I fucked my shoulder up in the process. Why? Because I wasn't listening to my body. I was so focused on the end goal that I fucked up my body in the process because I was so like, we got to get there. We got to get to the goal. We got to get to the goal without realizing that I was fucking myself up mentally, draining myself, overly working myself. And back to the giving myself grace and flowers and all that and being fucking proud of myself. It took time. It took time. It took so many people reminding me of everything I've done, reminding me of who the fuck I am again. Because shit, I forgot. I forgot for so long what I've done, all of the things that I've been able to accomplish, all of the things that I've been able to finish. Because when I set myself up for something, I finish that shit. I don't care how long it takes me. I don't tell myself I'm going to do something and not finish it. It's not something that I do. So becoming a teenage mother was one of the hardest things I ever did. And raising this child and raising myself in the process. And then having another one 6 years later and still growing up at 25, another kid, 2 kids at 25. I know there's moms that have done it younger. That's fine. But we each have our own story. Mine was hard. And I look back now and I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? And I forget. I forget that I did it. I did. I forget that I was able to survive with 2 small children. I had help. I am a single mother, meaning I am single and I'm a mother, but their father's in the picture. Grandmothers are in the picture. I have help, but I didn't have mental help, but I didn't have financial help, but I didn't have stability for so long. And a lot of that I threw under the rug until I got older and I realized that it was fucking me up. That it was fucking me up to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. Depression kicked in heavy this year, like I said before. Something that I never wanted to admit until I signed up for therapy this year too. That's another lesson. Therapy is an ongoing life journey. It's not just when something is going really wrong in your life is when you should have therapy. Therapy should be continued, even when you are feeling good, because there's always triggers. There's always moments that might make you uncomfortable, might trigger a past feeling, a past thought. I give thanks to God that I've never had really dark thoughts or, no suicidal thoughts, nothing to harm myself. I'm going to put that out there just in case anybody worries. It was never that point for me. I do give thanks to God for that. But it was dark. It was sad. It was lonely times. But between therapy and my own coaching and my own spiritual healing that I've done this year, I've done so many things this year, tried so many different angles, and I found out what works for me. And it takes time. So I say that because I want everyone to take a moment, wherever you are, if you're listening to this, take a moment and evaluate how you're feeling. Evaluate where you are in life. Is this where you want to be? Is this who you want to be? And if you don't want to be there, and you don't feel like yourself, and you need to find that clarity of who you are and what you're supposed to be doing in life, take that moment. Look within. Because I'll tell you that much. Lack of confidence is lack of clarity, and vice versa. So if you're lacking clarity, you're going to lack confidence. And if you lack confidence, you're not going to be able to figure out your potential. You're not going to be able to figure out how far you could go in life. You're not going to be able to step forward from where you are because you're going to always feel stuck because of the clarity or their lack of clarity. Because as I've grown in my own transformation, in my own clarity, in my own changes, in my own visions, I've realized that when I'm at my lowest, when I'm so confused, it's because I'm lacking confidence. But when I really look deep, it's not confidence, it's clarity. I don't see the clear picture. I don't see the vision. So it's all like a repetitive cycle. You're like on this hamster wheel, going around and round and round, all because we're not checking in with ourselves. We're not reminding ourselves of all we've accomplished. We're not reminding ourselves of how far we've gotten. We're not reminding ourselves of all of the things we've overcome. We're not giving ourselves grace. We're not clapping for ourselves. Look in the mirror every day. Tell yourself you love yourself. Say, I love you. I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you. Because no one else is going to do it. You might have every now and then someone, tell you they're proud of you. Your significant other's going to tell you they love you. Your kids are going to tell you they love you. But what about you? Whew, that was one of my biggest lessons this year, was self-love and taking the time to look within, to find that love for myself, me to me. Because in order for someone else to love me, I got to love myself first, right? And in order for me to love somebody else, I have to love myself first. Because I'm not out here giving away free love for no reason, especially if I'm not being genuine about it. I don't want some half-ass love. So why would I give out half-ass love? I do everything with my whole ass anyway. So I just think, aside from all of these random little lessons, they're not random, but you know what I mean. Self-love was one of the biggest ones for me, and I know a lot of people are going to agree with that for themselves this year, how important it is to find self-love, to applaud for yourselves, give, all that good stuff. I think we always wait for the shit to hit the fan before we start analyzing what's really wrong. And sometimes, unfortunately, we are what's wrong. We are the problem. And we don't know how to admit that. But shit, do you want me to tell you? It's you, boo. It's you. 90% of the times it's us. And I'm okay telling that to my friends now. Have you ever looked within, girl? Are you okay? Like, have you gone to therapy? Have you talked to somebody? This is something we need to fucking do, guys. Like, we cannot sit around and wait anymore. We have one fucking life. One life. And it can be taken from us. We are on borrowed time. We don't know when this time is up. We have one life. One life. Give it your all. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. My other lesson, since we're on lessons of this year, is stop trying to meet people at their energy or at their level. I'm not petty. Never was. I don't agree with it. I literally hate that verb, what am I talking about? That phrase, meeting you at the same energy, or like giving the same, whatever the fucking bullshit is all over the internet. I hate it because not only are you being fake by doing that, but you're not, well, actually, that's it. You're not being your authentic self when you want to go lessen who you are or lower your level of greatness to go meet someone at their lowest because they're being super petty. Just walk away. And if it's someone that really means a lot to you, talk to them. Stop with the bullshit. That was a big lesson for me. And it was telling myself that I don't know what the fuck this other person is going through. Because not everybody knows what I'm going through. As I said earlier, you guys probably did not know, unless you're real close to me or we've had solid conversations, did not know that I was struggling with severe depression this year. Did not know that I was having severe anxiety or weight issues or hair loss fucking problems. It was a fucking tough year. And I will walk around the room with a fucking smile on my face until I can't no more. But I refuse to lower my fucking vibrations, my frequencies for somebody else. Because all the work that I've put in is not going to be fucking dimmed for anybody else. You want to be petty Betty? Cool. But you by your damn self. I'm not petty. But I'm also not going to be disrespected. There's levels, obviously. If you feel it's disrespect or it's like extreme and you don't want to confront it, don't confront it. But also don't bow down to other people's bullshit. Stop allowing other people to control the way you live your life. It's really hard to please everybody. And if you're a people pleaser, which I can be a people pleaser, it's even harder to sit and avoid feelings of things like this, where if you are feeling a certain way about someone in your life and it's someone near and dear to you and they make you feel like shit, or they put you down, or they degrade you, or they, what is the word? Hold on. I want to say, go back to what I said earlier, like make you feel used or unappreciated. Oh, unappreciation is terrible too. But if there's someone in your life that makes you feel that way and you really want to fix this relationship or you want to walk away from it, walk away from it. If you think you're done, you're done. But if you want to fix a relationship, but you're like, oh, I'm going to let you so and so, I'm going to let so and so come. They need to come to me. I'm not going to do yada, yada, yada. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you even doing? Do you really think that they know what you're feeling? No one's a fucking mind reader. That's for sure. That's another lesson of mine. I'm not a fucking mind reader and I'm really black and white. So, like, if you don't tell me you're feeling a certain way about me or something that I did, I cannot apologize for something without knowing what it is. And I have no problem now apologizing. And I say now because I did have a problem in the past. Because I had that fuck it mentality of, oh, whatever, we're not talking, so fuck it. And I realized that's not normal. Like I told you guys, that's not normal to just have that fucking mentality and let it go. I personally feel like when we do that, we're lowering our standards. We're lessening all the work that we've put in. We're not giving ourselves the value that we deserve. We're not. And y'all could tell me whatever you want or disagree, because this is your world. But yeah. Let me look at my notes because I did have notes. Oh, I'm gonna wrap up because I don't like long episodes. You guys know that. But so my goal was to record so much this year, right? I wanted to record because I wanted to use my voice, because I wanted to express myself and not feel like I needed to hide or change for anybody. And it completely backfired this year. And I mentioned it a little bit before, but I only got through to post or upload whatever 19 episodes this year. I know somebody in here is gonna say only 19 episodes is great. I had the vision of having an episode drop every other week. So what is that? I don't know, 20, I don't know, 30 something up. I don't know. Do the math. You get what I'm saying. So I was really hard on myself when I realized I only hit 19 episodes and that I didn't have a lot of followers. I did all my numbers and all that stuff. And I realized that I couldn't possibly speak my truth when I was feeling my darkest before, because I was going to speak only out of anger and sadness for so long that I didn't want that to be the center of attention for this show. I didn't want people to be like, Jesus Christ, every fucking day or every episode is so dark and gloomy, and it's not who I am, but I am human. So I took my healing time, and I wanted to say that because I feel like we forget that we need to take a moment, right? And pause wherever we are, in whatever situation we're in, and pause. Excuse me. Oh my God, excuse me. And pause, because sometimes pausing and reevaluating whatever the fuck you're doing helps you shift the narrative, helps it become bigger and greater the next time around. Because you don't really realize how important it is to feel good when you're doing something until you're at that point in life when you are feeling like you're forced to do something, when you feel like you have to do this. I never wanted to feel like I have to record because I said I was going to have this many episodes. So it does come back to giving myself the grace and accepting things for what they were and moving on from things and growing from things. It all comes back. It's like a repetitive cycle of growing and changing and looking back and saying, wow, I fucking did that. Because, you know, I complained about only 19 episodes, but I'm like, you know what? I still did 19 episodes. I'm gonna lie, I'm lying right now. I did more than 19, but I only edited up to 19. This is my 20th one for the year. But I have about 5 people waiting to air, so I'm lying. 19, 20. All right, it's about 25 episodes. But I wanted more. So I reminded myself that, wait a minute, you needed to heal before you can heal others. And I'm not a spiritual healer, but I'm a healer in a form when I coach people. I'm a healer in a form when I speak to people, when people listen to my podcast. Recently, I had a compliment on my podcast, and it felt so good to hear it, because I said, wow, the fact that I woke my podcast back up, that I started posting, and people are like, I missed you. Where you been? Oh my God. It's a wonderful feeling. It really is. If you ever have the idea of starting something, the time is now. My last lesson of the year is that we need to stop waiting for the right time, because today was a reminder for me of my college project. I went to college for business management, business administration. I went to Fairleigh Dickinson University in Teaneck. Shout out to them. I owe them so much money still. But in order to graduate, you have to write a business. You have to invent a business and write a business paper. My invention was, some people have heard this, but whatever, you got to hear it again because I just got a reminder today. My invention was heels, and you can take the heel off and it becomes a flat. And I had an amazing, amazing fucking paper. I wish, and I know it'll come up, it'll resurface one of these days. I think I got like A+++. The teacher was like, the professor was fucking, wow, this is amazing, whatever. So I didn't do anything about it, obviously, because y'all don't see me fucking promoting the shoe. But it's invented now. Yeah, y'all. Somebody else invented that shit. And I realized that was another lesson. And the lesson was, yo, if you got a fucking idea, fucking do it. Do not wait for anybody. Do not wait for a green light. Do not wait for any fucking body to tell you that it is a good idea. Because it probably is. And if you don't do it, someone else will. So, that is my closing statement. The time is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not in a month. It's not in a year. It's now. So if you feel something burning within when you have an idea, burning that you're like, oh my God, if it feels so fucking scary, if it makes you cry, if you can't sleep, that is your fucking calling. That is your fucking dream. Please, if you need help, fucking hit me up. I'm a big believer on creativity. I'm a visionary. I will figure it out with you. We can work through this together. Having a vision without a plan is going to get you nowhere. Let's bring your vision to life, because I refuse to let 2024 go, meaning the end of next year, without my visions coming to life. I have big fucking visions for 2024. So I really hope you guys are ready, because I'm not fucking playing games. And I'm going to continue to heal, and I'm going to continue to take care of myself, and I'm going to continue to take care of those around me, because I love the people around me. And I show it to them in so many different ways. So if you're in my circle, if you're in my Fierce Femme tribe, if you want to be in my Fierce Femme tribe, let me tell you something. All them bad bitches are blowing the fuck up this year, because we're going to do it together. Because my vision is big for that tribe. It's not just for me, it's for the whole group. And let me tell you something. I'm a firm believer on sisterhood and community. And that is a huge lesson for me. I cannot do everything on my own. And I refuse to continue to think that I'm Superwoman, because we all burn out and we all need time. So, again, if you have a vision, if you have a dream, please do not wait for anybody to tell you to go. I'm telling you right fucking now. Fucking do it. And if you need help, call me, because I will bring your fucking vision to life. We will figure it the fuck out. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna feel fucking scary as fuck. But if it don't fucking scare you, it's not big enough. Now, I'm dropping my big ass mic. Not literally, but closing off last episode of the season. And we'll be back in 2024. Love you guys. Bye.